What's up, guys? It is Ryan, and I want to real quickly talk about why it is you should be using credit or any of the credit cards that you have today. The first thing is this, guys. Remember this. If you're not using credit, you're going to lose that credit. Plus, if you're not using credit, you're not building credit. It's really important. If you want to actually show banks and lenders that you're trustworthy, you have to actually start using the cards that you have so that you can grow on them, get bigger limits, or expand to more accounts, which is the second point. The more that you use your credit cards, the higher the limits they're going to give you. Why? Because they see that you're actually using those limits to your advantage. And the more you spend, the more credit limit they're typically going to give you, assuming that you pay your bills on time and never miss a payment. But the more you use the credit, the higher credit limits you'll get over time. Plus, it opens up more opportunities to get more credit cards or more credit accounts. Again, the more you use, the more you get. It's a simple concept. The next thing is this. The more you use credit cards and you manage to pay them on time and keep the balances low, the more responsibility it shows. If you're more responsible, it means you're less of a risk. The less risky you are, again, the more they're going to give you, the more opportunities that you will have. It's always better to use somebody else's money than it is for you to use your own. Purchase protection. How many times have you bought something expensive? I have a funny example of this. I bought AirPods one time, and it was actually for my son. And when I bought the AirPods, about a month later, 2 months later, the dog ate the AirPods case. True story. Called up Amex. They have this insurance policy where you go in and you submit a claim, and what happened was they basically refunded me the money so I could go buy brand new AirPods. That was on a small purchase. But think about bigger purchases where you'd really like to have maybe an extended warranty or some other type of extra protection. Your debit card's not going to give that to you, and cash is definitely not going to give that to you. So this is another simple reason why to use credit cards. Lastly, 0% financing. How many times have you seen things that you'd like to purchase, but you know you don't want to buy because either A, you don't have the cash, which you should never buy anything on a credit card if you don't have the cash, unless you can buy it with 0% financing. If you have 0% financing, you can typically buy things anywhere from 12 up to 18 months, and sometimes they'll have offers for longer than that, but 12 to 18 months of no credit card interest. That is huge. I always talk about and say credit card debt is the cancer of your finances. Why? Because it's bleeding you dry. Many people will have $5, $10, $15, maybe even $20,000 in the bank, but they're carrying $6,000 of credit card debt. It makes no sense because 1 month of that $6,000 of credit card debt is going to be more than the interest you would get on $10,000 in the bank for the entire year. So these are the reasons why it's so important. If you're trying to build credit, if you're trying to establish more credit, make sure that you're using the credit and the credit cards on a daily, weekly basis. Every single purchase that you make is going to be recorded. The more that you're using these credit cards, the more they're going to give you higher limits and help with additional accounts. The more accounts you have, the more responsible it shows that you are. Plus, the more credit card accounts that you have, and the longer you keep those credit card accounts open, the longer your age of credit history will be. Credit cards don't close unless you miss payments or you close them. Or, of course, if you stop using them, which they will sometimes close your accounts, especially in times right now with COVID going on. So it's really important, guys. Make sure that you're using your credit cards every single purchase, every single day. Don't buy things you don't need, but use them for every single purchase. Make sure that you pay on time, and watch how not only your credit limits will grow, but your credit scores will grow as well. Hope you have an awesome day.